Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. Today I'm not preaching a Free Nation message, but I'm addressing an issue that has been bubbling under for quite a while. And it has to do with presenters collecting money to play music on the radio. Some of you are aware of this. It's been bubbling under. My name's been popping in and out of it. I've chosen to ignore it up until now when somebody directly mentioned it and also mentioned the Free Nation in it. So once the Free Nation is mentioned, I believe I should address it. I'm not a hypocrite. I don't run from issues. I address issues head on because the more you run and hide from issues, the more they'll creep upon you. Worst case scenario, people will say what you are doing is not good, stop it. Or what you are doing is very good, continue. It no pass like that. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Now, my good friend and brother Eldee the Don, Eldee the Don is supposed to join. You can see Amarachi creeping by. In her mind, she's creeping. Eldee the Don is going to join us, and he's going to share his own perspective. And his perspective is from a music artist and a record label owner, stroke producer. So I'm sure he's not going to agree with me, but I believe in having discussions with intellectuals, and Eldee is somebody I respect. So I'm sure this will make for good listening and watching, as the case may be. Now, the first thing I want to address is we have to understand sorry, that was Eldee sending me a message, so I'm hoping he'll join. He's supposed to join about 28 minutes, if he keeps to time. First of all, you people need to understand that one, radio has grown. It has grown from what it used to be. And many of us who are known as voices on the radio now have faces. So you're going to have to keep that at the back of your mind. Why am I saying this? An artist has no problem paying Instablog or Linda AKG's blog or Tunde Ednot or any other blogger to promote their music, but they have a problem getting a presenter to promote their music. I cannot control what goes on the radio. It's not my job. It's not my father's radio station. I cannot go in and tell them you play. I'm not one of those presenters that go into a radio station and tell them you must play this song. Here's what when I go for my show, I have my log already created by the music department. The only thing I can do is if it's a certain mood, for instance, I want to talk about rain and it's raining outside. I wouldn't want to play a summertime song when it's actually raining. I'm just giving you an example. If it's Two-Face birthday, I like to talk about Two-Face music and what have you. So I can influence the log in that way. And that's the only legal way I'm allowed to influence the log. And among Cool FM presenters, you can check my background, I'm one of the people who hardly ever has any problem with the music department. Never. I can't remember when last me and music department had meeting that you are not following your log, or you're not playing your log, or you're not playing your music. It doesn't happen. I as much as possible try to stick to what I'm supposed to do. So when I decide to play a song because my mood is this song, or because this song is trending, I don't get any trouble for it because I'm not known for influencing the music log. Now, however, if there's a song on the music log, I have ratings. You know what ratings are? How many people listen to your show? Our employers, that's the owners of the radio stations, go to very high lengths to make sure we have good ratings. If you don't have good ratings 3 consecutive months, they're going to sit down with you. Like, dude, what's going on your show? Why are people not listening? And one of the things that make people listen to your show is good music. So one thing I ensure for my show to have ratings, because they're not going to come and pay my bills, in short. So I need my ratings to be high. So before I play a song, it has to be a popping song. I'm one of those people. I have a job to deliver. Now, every once in a while, I can decide to pity this person who's up and coming and give him a shot, but I also have ratings to keep. If I play 3 upcoming artists in my show, I would have a problem, because if you don't know the song and if you don't like the song, there's some songs that you hear and you'll love them immediately. There are songs that are literally whack. I will not play a whack song on my show because the artist is up and coming. Let's establish that as a fact. If your song is not nice, even if it's on my log, I will not play it. And by nice, I have 23 years of radio experience. I know which song will move my show. At least if I've done something for 23 years, I should have a clue. Shouldn't I? I don't know if I'm making sense, guys. Now, I want to ask you all some questions. I want to ask you all some questions before I jotted down some questions I was going to ask the audience. So guys, please feel free to, it's a conversation. Question 1, why do gospel artists charge for events? If you go to Apple Music, how many gospel songs are free? Gospel, I'm not coming to the seculars now. Gospel. If a gospel musician can charge for his music, why does that gospel musician want to sit down with me and discuss with me for 5 minutes and not expect me to bill him for it? This is you are singing a song, quote and unquote, for your God, because obviously you and I don't serve the same God. Because I don't know how I would make a gospel song and charge for it. I don't understand. I don't understand it. But you guys understand it. It's all well and good. I don't. I'm not going to bash them, but I'm just going to doubt the potency of their God. Problem number 1. Now, you say, some of the comments, people are saying that it frees, you don't own the radio station, blah, 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 blah. So why are you charging money? Who's the money going to? I have official hours at the radio station. If you are coming to me within my unofficial hours to have a meeting with me and to make me go through the torture, which it is sometimes, to listen to 3.5 minutes of your nonsense, literally, to listen to your 3 minutes of your nonsense, you should expect me to charge you for it. You can't walk into a gynecologist's office. How long does it take you to become a gynecologist? 7 years in medical school. Abi, Amarachi? 12 years. I've spent 23 years on the radio, and you want me to do, the doctor spent 14 years. Abi, 12 years. I've spent 11 years, more than 12 years to get to the stage I've gotten to, and you want to sit down with me for free? God will punish you. I'm the equivalent of an SAN, a senior advocate of Nigeria in broadcasting. Go and sit down with let me tell you the privileges a SAN gets. If you've ever gone to court before, if a SAN is in court, they will listen to him first before they listen to all the junior lawyers. Lawyers, you know about this. But you are upcoming artists, want to sit down with me at Daddy Freeze, come and listen to my song. And then you want me to sit down. There's no way, listen, unless I have an artist listening day, then all the artists come. I know I'm not doing anything that day. All the artists come, they sit down, I listen to their song 1 minute, I give them my feedback, they go away. The next artist comes, I listen. If you're going to have a 15-minute meeting with me and you are coming to my office or you're coming to my house, I'm going to have to cancel, juggle things. You know how these things work. Who's going to pay for my time? Please, I beg you in the name of God, I'm going to show you guys my profiles. This is my Instagram profile. I don't know if you could see it. Oh my goodness, the light is too bright. Anyway, since you can't see it, I'll read what is on my profile to you guys. Servant of Yahweh Most High, Bible scholar, your pastor's teacher, convener, Free the Sheeple Movement, leader, Free Nation in Christ, first Nigerian Nickelodeon winner, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Where does artist promotion? Do you see it on my profile? Do you see artist promotion on my profile? I'm going to read my Twitter for you too, because I want to be as empirical as possible today. So I'm going to read my Twitter for you. Just hang on a second for the internet to load. Sorry guys, I'm going to be taking your questions, don't worry. I'm a bit worked up, so because in my life there's something I don't like nonsense. Here's my my Instagram profile, my Twitter profile, I beg your pardon. Broadcaster, first Nigerian to win a Nickelodeon award, Bible scholar, your pastor's teacher, convener, Free the Sheeple Movement, leader, Free Nation. Where is artist management and artist sponsorship and artist promotion? It's not part of my job. It's not my job description to promote an artist. It never has been and it never will be. So if you want me to promote you, you're going to first have to sit down with me to talk. And if you sit down with me to talk, I'm going to bill you. The minimum, they're saying 100K. I don't see myself billing anybody less than. It's not, listen, this part of my work is not charity. In the last 1 year, the Free Nation in Christ as a church has spent over 20 million naira. If we do not include Benaiah, because Benaiah was not our single project. Benaiah, we were part of the people that raised 75 million naira for him. But we're going to move late Benaiah to one side. And our own in-house projects, a minimum of, that's for people who are sick, people who have fibroids, people who have cancer, people who are homeless, people who are hungry. That's how much we've spent on those. Somebody that is singing, bring your yash here, oh no, man, bring your... That person that's not charity. How do I stand before my God and say that I'm helping somebody that sings bring your yash here for free as a charity project? I don't know if I'm making sense to you. So those few minutes that you're going to spend in my presence, I am going to bill you for. Go and sit down with a son, or go and sit down with a gynecologist, or go and sit down with a professor and see if they will not bill you. So please, I will never collect money from anybody to play their music on the radio, but I will not sit down with you with my time for free. And if your song is going to be on my station, my playlist, Baba, you will try. And speaking about trying, I'll give you examples so you understand what I'm saying. In 2007, 2008, thereabout, I was having an audition for someone to assist me in production. It was, I think, production Abuja, so we're auditioning in Lagos to send that person to Abuja. And in the middle of the audition, there was a girl sitting across the table. I was preparing the computers and everything, adjusting the microphones. And the lady just went, "In your busy body, yeah." And she covered her mouth. I looked at her, I said, "What's that?" She said, "No, she's sorry." I said, no, what's that? She said, it's a P-Square song that just entered her head and she sang it. As of that time, I had never heard P-Square's Busybody before. Do you know that I went to look for this song? Bought it, brought it to the radio station, and loaded it myself. Because I said, if somebody can be sitting down inside an audition and like a mad person just burst out a song, that song is going to be big. And I was 100% on point. That song was not only big, it was massive. And P Square went on to release a string of back-to-back massive number ones. Hello? Hello? I'll take this step further. Cabo Snoop. Who remembers Cabo Snoop? Windeck. Windeck. Who remembers Windeck? The band said the first time he heard that song, he was in a club in New York. The song just started playing. He was like, what is that? Let me tell you Cabo Snoop's story because I interviewed him. Apparently, Cabo Snoop was a cameraman in his record label. What I'm telling you today, write it down. I'm having like a master class for free with you guys today. Because this is the first time I'm actually sharing out of the 23 years of my experience as a broadcaster. I'm not bragging, but when I started broadcasting, the only artists that were established were Two-Face or Plantation Boys. Maintain, I was part of the original squad of Maintain. I was one of, it was FKD, it was called Freeze Clan Duo. It was my group. I set up the group, then Maintain, Olu and Tolu broke out of the group. It's there on record. So when I'm talking to you about music in Nigeria, I'm not faffing around. There is no one. When I met D'banj, I'll tell you the story. When I met D'banj for the first time, 419 Squad came from the UK to have an interview on my show. And they came along with D'banj, who was like, I don't know if I can be politically correct if I use the word gumming them. Because I remember that day very clearly, the moment we wanted to start the interview, D'banj and a certain lady called Queen had to excuse and stay outside while I interviewed the 419 Squad. And I remember D'banj there, and Baba, please help me. And I liked him. I was like, oh, this guy is a nice guy. He's humble. I started playing his songs. This was before Tongolo. When Tongolo came out, there was a certain company that used Tongolo, the beats for their adverts. Do you know, I called D'banj up. I was like, guy, they are using your song here. I even took my time to record it and send it to him to make sure that he's not being cheated as an artist. D'banj should come out and tell me where he gave me ₦1 for doing this for him. I remember the first time I produced D'banj, when D'banj released, I think it was Y Mew, he came to our house in an old previa of that year, not of that year, of many years before that year. And he came to give it to us one-on-one to help him push. And we all pushed it for him. ₦1 we didn't collect too. So those people are saying that we only help. Let me tell you something. D'banj's first album launch in Nigeria, the entertainment album, Basket and I were the official MCs. And not only D'banj, same thing with Davido, same thing with Wizkid. There was a time when Davido had some issues because a lot of people thought he was proud. I have been in meetings before when people say, lie, we will not use Davido. And I stood up and fought for Davido like he's my brother. I said, no, there's nothing wrong with this guy. This guy has some good. This was around that Omo Babalo, when Bobo Babalo came out, and then after it rained, and then it started going down before he started coming up again with more songs. Davido has never sent me ₦1 up until today. Davido's first album launch, I MC'd. I remember standing on the stage and looking at Dangote and hailing Dangote and then going off the stage to greet Dangote. I remember very clearly. I remember bringing Kayla on stage at that event. It was a massive event. I remember it was Cecil that did it. ₦1. They did not pay me for anchoring that event. I didn't go there naked. I wore clothes. Whatever it is that I wore cost money and could not be repeated at another event. But never have I come out to say, it's all love. I have love for these people. The only time I started slowing down was when D'banj decided to I don't know if he meant to, but he ended up embarrassing me at Omotola's event. I was like, this the gratitude I get for pushing your songs? What have you done for me? I know people who have helped in my career, people like Basketmouth, people like AY, people like TA, people like Julius. These were the people who used to want to work with me, or I remember the first event I did in London, it was Basketmouth that gave me that job. Same thing with AY. I remember anchoring AY live in London every year for the first 5 years. Then doing all his shows, being in almost all his movies. People like Funke Akindele, those are the people that can say they've helped me. Anybody else, I have to think it very well to remember exactly what it is that they did. And of course, my employers are Cool FM, who gave me the opportunity to go on the radio. So if I tell you that I've sat down, I look at the bands, for instance, and I cannot look at anything he's done for me, and yet he's on stage embarrassing me, standing with his pastor to make me look silly, and the whole world is cracking jokes at me. Anyway, that's all gone. I can't be bothered. But it just made me wake up and realize that, look, I'm closing artist chapter. Anybody that wants to help artists should go and help artists. My profile does not say artist management. It does not say artist helper. It does not say artist friend. Leader of the Free Nation, Bible scholar. I teach the Bible. I discuss the Bible. My world revolves around the Bible or the scriptures. Let me be more accurate. I want to go back to the other things I said I'll discuss. Now, still back to my gospel artists. I remember getting a text from Airtel to download Nathaniel Bassey's song, a gospel artist, in the middle of his Hallelujah challenge for 50 naira. If Nathaniel Bassey is selling his music, why would I promote it for free? Now, I cannot control radio promotion. It's not mine. I told you, there's a department in the radio station that deals with it. It has nothing to do with me. But hello, I've got 242,000 followers on Instagram, 270,000 on Twitter, 35,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to give you that for free? You are mad. I remember the last time Iyanya was in my office. We're doing a radio interview about this, his saga with Ubi Franklin. And Iyanya was, halfway through the interview, Iyanya just flipped, said that if it's, no, you have to go live. I said, no, I don't want to go live. He said, no. He started changing it for me. Immediately, I opened my live, opened my YouTube. I said, no, okay, no problem. I'll put you on. Of course, I didn't charge him 1 naira for it. Iyanya is someone I knew before he blew. So you want me to tweet about you, because that's where the real promotion is going down these days. You want to pay Instablog, you want to pay Tunde Ednot, you want to pay Linda Ikeji and Bella Naija and all the other blogs, but then you want me to put you on my own platform for free. You are wicked. The scripture said the disciples paid for everything they. This is how it went. It says, we never collected food from anyone without paying for it. How did they pay for it? Were they robbing banks? No, they were working, and their work was paid. What's their work? Their time. I don't run a charity organization for helping artists. And let me tell you something about artists. In my humble experience of 23 years, artists are the most ungrateful, are the most, I'm looking for the right words, most entitled set of people I've ever met. Look how they treat their record labels. You are nothing. You come to a record label, the record label spends 50 million naira on you, you blow. The next thing like this, you are raising shoulder for the record label. Come imagine radio presenter that helped your career. That musician that won Project Fame, that one that was insulting me the other day, what was his name? I met him when he was hungry. Just brought him from, I don't know if it's Bayelsa or that side. Hungry looking something. He has blown now. He's attacking me. And we helped him blow. When nobody knew who he was, we played his music. The next thing, as soon as I went against his pastor that is still giving money, he joined his pastors to fight me. So when you come to me and you say that the Frees are not helping me, you say, I have no business. What is it's like going to meet a mechanic or a organizer to say the organizer is not helping your career. What's this business with your career? I have no business with your career. I've told you, I play the songs on my log in my radio station, and for the song to be on my log, it has to be a good song. They know the way I don't like mediocre music. The song has to be a good song. I was telling you about Cabo Snoop the other time. Do you know how Cabo Snoop blew? Cabo Snoop was number 23 in his record label. He was a cameraman. So he used to play with the producer, and one day the producer said, you know what, I'll produce for you. That's how Windeck came out. Do you know how Windeck blew? They recorded it and then they put it on his phone. So he would go and play it for his friend. This song is nice. So Bluetooth it to me. It was the time of BlackBerry and Bluetooth. So he will send the song by Bluetooth to the next person. That one will go and play it somewhere. This song is nice. Before you know it, he will Bluetooth it to another person. Do you know the song became a hit on Bluetooth without getting to the radio? By the time Windeck got to the radio, it was already a hit. So they now had to remaster it and release it as a radio, and it went around the world. I told you the band said he listened to it in a club in New York. Bring that music to me, I will play it. Don't bring the nonsense. People are bringing up mediocrity of all sorts. Artists that are whack will come and be telling that they are charging them to play their song. Make a good song. It was in an audition that I discovered who P Square were. I'd known them before, but that was the first time I discovered Busybody. What about Timaya? Everybody call me Timaya just because I say Tima. Remember that song? Let me tell you what happened. I was doing the night show then for a lady called Kemi on Cool FM. She was on leave, so I was supporting her. First caller. 33 my boyfriend broke up with me, he slapped me, he beat me. Please, can you play me Timaya? I didn't have Timaya. We didn't have the CD. We didn't have it. The next song. The next caller. 33 I just met this girl I really love. I want to play Timaya for her. While I was still struggling with this, because, it was the night show, so I closed in the morning. As I was closing, I was going through the office, I ran into Lawal. I was like, Lawal, how far? Lawal said, man, he's looking for one song, that the song is called Timaya, that it was raining in their camp. Do you know the next day I entered my car, started driving up and down Lagos looking for Timaya's music? By myself. Because by the time 5 people have called your radio station to ask you for a song and you don't have the song, you look like you're slacking. By the time I came on radio next, I had loaded Timaya onto our system and I was playing it. I had never met Timaya before. I don't know who he is, but simply because his music was so good, people were requesting for it. I had to go and look for it. So listen to me, dear artist. If you are paying anybody to play your song, it means your song is mediocre. It means you don't have a hit. Let your music, let your work speak for you, not your money. Nobody needed to be paid to play Tongolo. Nobody needed to be paid to play Omo Babalo. At least I wasn't. Some people are saying that the Freeze, you're only talking about established artists. All your established artists, I met them when they were entering bus and bike. The only artist that I knew was rich and came from a rich home was Davido. I remember Wizkid's first album when he was still a young lad. And then we invited him for one of my friend's weddings. And he came, and all the married women in the building started dancing. As Wizkid was dancing, they all formed like a train behind him and were dancing. How will you not play that one song on the radio? Because every single woman that was holding him and dancing with him would want to listen to his music. Have you achieved that? What have you achieved on the local level? That you want me to now leave my time and sit down with you and listen to you and you will not pay me and then put your music on the radio that sounds whack? I'm asking you. And then you'll be ungrateful at the end of the day. Like I said, artists are some of the most insensitive, most entitled, most selfish, and most ungrateful and unappreciative people I have ever met. Many just are like vampires. They just consume anything they can overpower. Record labels, radio stations. Blow an artist and call that artist to come and perform at your end of year party. You see the bill he will charge you. I remember the first time in my life I ever called one of the artists that I helped blow. He gave me a bill of 800,000. I nearly beat him up. He now came and begged me, say, no, say, I'm a manager. The only artist that I met that was an established artist was Two-Face Idibia. And I met him when they were plantation boys. As a matter of fact, I sat down in Face's house one day in Festac and I was reading, I just saw their contract on the table. The contract of plantation boys with the Two-Face, Face, and Blackface. I read their sharing formula. I don't remember what it is now, but it was there lying on the table and I picked it up. So I have that much insight into the entertainment industry. The first time I met Don Jazzy in my life, the band brought him backstage to an event I was hosting. And he said, this is not my producer, where they follow you talk, and I'm this Don Jazzy. That's the first time I set my eyes on Don Jazzy. And then they were still up. That was before they released Tongolo. So if if the media is now playing around with this and twisting up and down, I'm going to address it. And here is my point. Any artist that wants to sit down, by the way, let me be very honest with you guys. In the last 1 year, if you call me up and tell, if you call me up and say I'm an artist, I say, please, I don't have time. I hush you off the phone. I have a church that we're building. I have scriptures that I'm teaching. I will not sit down at this stage and listen to an artist tell me a bullshit story if he's not going to pay for it and he's not going to pay for it well. Hello. Inside my sanctuary, one morning I played a gospel song and it leaked onto my YouTube. I almost got a copyright strike for it. A copyright strike for a gospel song that I'm playing, that I'm promoting. You can't even allow me to use it on my YouTube for free. And then you want to use my services, my know-how of many years for free. You are wicked. I think I want to say one more thing before I round this all up. Let me look and see if there's any. I think I should be able to take Eldee's call now. So, like I would tell everybody, I will never support anybody playing music on the radio and charging money for it. Never. But I will also never support a musician expecting a radio presenter to sit down with him and listen to his music and have a discussion with him for free. I won't do it. Anybody that does it is well, maybe that's their charity business, but it sounds like foolishness to me. Somebody said leave the bunch. I have nothing with the bunch. After all I've done to help his career when he was coming up, what has he done in return for me? What? Has he ever performed an event for me free? I have emceed events for him free. I've promoted his music free. Ask him. So I'm not saying this to back. Look at what happened at Tomotola's event. Go and see. I thought he was coming to greet me. He decided to make jokes about the Free Nation belief system. I've never fought him for it, but it's just because this artist matter is coming up, I'm deciding to speak about all this. So does anybody have any question? Because I'm waiting for Eldee to ask to be in the feed. If Nathaniel Bassi in the middle of Hallelujah Challenge, people are gathering to do Hallelujah Challenge, Airtel was sending me a message that I should come and buy a song for 50 naira. If Nathaniel Bassi can sell his gospel music for 50 naira, who am I? Please. How do you now market the music? I don't know how you market your music. Like I said, my profile says Bible teachers. If you ask me, how did Jacob pay tithe? I will answer you. If you ask me, can we pay tithe like Abraham? I will answer you. If you ask me, is first fruit scriptural? I will answer you. I don't know anything about artists, record label, music, musicians, promotion of music, and I don't want to be bothered about it. The only secular thing that I took away with me into my current movement is my car reviews. That's the only thing I'm doing. How many times have you seen, how many artists even support the Free Nation? Are they not still paying tithe to their pastors? If you reach out to me and you need my help, and you're somebody I was listening, I put on my YouTube the other day, I saw this guy's music, what's his name? Kiss Daniels. I like the song so much, I went to pay 150 naira to buy it. It's on my iTunes. I listen to it, I love it, I enjoy it. If music sounds good, I will play it for free. Not only will I pay it for free, you've got it wrong. I will buy it like I've always bought music. I will buy it. How many artists have popped a bottle of champagne for me in a nightclub? How many? Who play their music for free, then they now believe it is their entitlement that if you don't listen, me, I will talk for 2 straight hours on the radio and I will not lose audience. I don't need your music. You can shove it up. I will talk for 2 hours straight on a radio station and I will not lose audience. I do it on my YouTube. I will not lose audience. So don't tell me that your music is making what? On Sunday morning, how many? 2 straight hours of preaching, not one song. How does your music make my show? You must be lying to yourself. I like good music, so during the week I play music. But let me tell you, if I want to open that mic for 2 straight hours, I will not lose audience because I know what to talk about. So you must be in a state of utter disbelief in the reality of things for you to think that your music is making. No, your music is making my show. If I decide I want to do a talk show, I'll do a talk show without any music and I'll still set it out. So, dear artists, go and submit your music to a radio station. If your song is good, they will play it for free. If your song is not good, that's why you're looking for a presenter to bribe up and down. And please don't call me. I don't promote artists. I stopped listening to artists and their bullshit a long time ago. If artists like they should boycott my show, I will talk the whole show and the show will still sell. So let me see if Eldee is there. Let me give him a holler. And let's see if he can still join us. I'll be very glad if he can. Hello, bro. Please join in. Okay, I'm sending him a DM. If I see him in, I don't know, let me see if anybody's trying to join us. Oops. Okay. Sorry guys, I think he's here. Eldee the Dawn, Ashiri Ad.
Actually at my eye doctors.
You're at your eye doctors?
Yeah, look. trying to. My eyes are actually right now dilated. So.
Can you talk? You need your eyes to talk.
Yo, I can talk.
All right, so go ahead. Did you hear my own take?
Yeah, I did hear your take, and please let me know if where I'm standing is too noisy. I just came outside.
You're perfect. You're fine. You're fine.
And you know I agree with a lot of things that you said. I mean, I was there too, kind of like in the early phases of what is today's Nigerian music. So I get it when sometimes we feel, especially after having done this for over 20 years, that people don't appreciate some of the stuff that we do, or some of the stuff that we've put in place. You know what I mean? So right there, I totally get it. I understand it. I appreciate it. But I think that a lot of times these conversations, people tend to miss the actual point of the argument, right? And there are various arguments, but I'll talk about two things. And hopefully the sound is better. I just came in the car so I can really focus on this.
All right, go ahead.
Number one is there is a culture of entitlement, right?
Yep.
And the culture of entitlement is not just a music thing. It's just in our it's part of our fabric now. It's part of our culture as a people now, that we tend to feel like people owe us something, right?
Yeah.
Just in general. And I know this because it's one of the things that I saw that was different about the cultures in other places. So in the UK, they have a bit of that too. In the US, not so much. Okay? In South Africa, I didn't sense it at all. Like, I didn't feel like people felt like, oh, somebody owes me something, so that everyone feels like, okay, you know what, I got to go out there and do something for myself. Kind of like the way it is in the US. In the UK, and maybe because it's the British people that colonized us, I don't know why, but it's part of our culture now to feel entitled to other people's accomplishments, other people's resources, other people's just in general. People walk in and say, give me this thing now, you get down, so give me, right? And if you say, hey, bro, it took me some time to get here, like I had to go through X to get to this point, therefore there is some value in what I'm giving to you, and this should be this should be one of my ways of being able to take care of myself as well, because I've grown this, I've built a business out of this, right?
Yeah.
Then they say, no, now, Baba, you get this thing. Just help me out. Help a nigga out now. You know what I'm saying? People walk up to you, and this is just in general. I'll talk about music in a second, but in general, we have that culture, and we need to recognize that we have that culture, and we need to acknowledge that it's bad. Okay? It's bad because it's not only people who are disadvantaged, people have it, right?
Yeah.
There is the narcissistic entitlement that people also have, that makes you feel like, oh, because I am so and so, or I accomplished so and so in the society, then people owe me XYZ, right?
Yeah.
So there is that. So established. Now, from a music standpoint, how that plays out is artists believe that once they're creating and they're trying to get to a destination, everybody on their path owes them something. And that's very bad. It's very bad. It's very bad that you wake up and you don't recognize that there are people who have sometimes a job to do, sometimes consulting as a profession, and they cannot work for free. You can't go to a stylist and say, hey, you need to give me this thing because I am... No, that's his business.
Yeah.
That is his business. That's how he makes money. You can't go to a producer and say, you don't want to give me beats. That's how he eats. You can't go to... It's the same way I tell people all the time, you can't go to a venue and say, let me use your venue to do my album launch. They built the venue with bricks and cement. Someone paid for that. So that mentality that people owe you, or that people should do things for you for free, is the one thing that we all have to recognize is very bad. Now, if someone chooses to do it for you out of the kindness of their own heart. They say, okay, you know what? I like this guy and I want to support this guy. And they just do it for you. They're doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. They don't owe you anything. Because the other thing that happens is that once you do it once or twice, then people feel like, oh, next time they come and every time they come, they have to get that favor from you. No, bro, I don't owe you, man. I just did you a favor the last time. If this is what I'm doing, if this is part of my business, my guy, you have to pay. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
General,
Eldee, real quick, I want to ask you a few questions.
Hey, before you ask,
okay.
That was the first part. First part. There's
okay.
a second part.
Okay.
There's a second part, and I think that let me quickly drop that second part, and then we'll go through the questions real quick.
Okay.
So here's the second part. The second part is something else that we have in our culture that is pretty bad is rent seeking. Okay? People like to use their position to seek rent. And what I mean by that is you're in a position to do job A. You've been employed to do A, right?
Yeah.
But then you use that position, because that position is in the way of things that people want to do, to extort money out of people. And I call it extortion because it's almost like the way you go to a ministry in Nigeria, really just any ministry in Nigeria, and you're trying to see someone because you have a proposal, and somebody expects that you have to pay them money in order for your proposal to be pushed through. That's rent seeking.
Totally, I know.
Someone wanting to become a governor.
Yeah.
Somebody wanting to become a governor so that they can take the people's resources and pocket it or use it for their own things. That's rent seeking. Now, here's where it gets a little controversial. An OAP, by definition, is someone who's hired to play music on the radio. Who, like you said, has a log that they play from.
Yep.
Who, like you said, can choose once in a while, and it's perfectly and totally legal to play some of the things that they feel they need to play in order to cater to their audience, right?
Yep.
Here's where it becomes rent-seeking. It becomes rent-seeking when I say to people, hey, you know what? If you need your music played on my show, just pay me and I'll play it. I'm not playing it based on the fact that I like it, like you said. I'm not playing it based on the fact that it's good. I'm not playing it based on anything else other than the fact that I'm going to use my position as an OAP to seek rent. That's where it becomes bad. So those are the two things, and I think that there's two perspectives there. So there's kind of a thin line, a little bit. I mean, well, no, it's like blurred a little bit, because how do you determine when someone is rent seeking from when
they're genuinely
consulting? Yes,
consulting.
Right? How do you? Where is the line?
Where do you draw the line?
That's kind of where it's a little tricky. Yeah. That's where it's a little tricky. Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
So those are the two things: rent seeking and entitlement.
And the sense of entitlement. Absolutely well said. Now, here is one of the problems I have with artists. Like you rightly said, the sense of entitlement. Eldee, how many artists treated their record labels right? You own the record label. I don't want to go into the issues you went through with your artists, but you and I know.
Absolutely.
You know
absolutely
what an artist does to the record label that puts money in them, gives them the studio to record. So if you can do that to your record label, what would I expect from you as someone who's totally disconnected from you and just in line of your success? You're going to step on me to get to the next stone.
Absolutely.
And after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people have stepped on me to get to the next stone, the ninth person coming, I'm going to build a fence. And I'm like, no, go pass somewhere else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, in the music industry, an upcoming artist goes to an established artist for a feature, and the established artist charges them a fee.
Right.
Eldee, you are in the industry. I'm not speaking to an sorry, I forgot to add tribesmen. I remember walking in the mid-90s in Agbowo shopping complex in Ibadan and seeing a tribesman CD. I remember with the tribal marks. That's the name of the album.
Right.
In Ibadan. your song could make it down from Lagos to Ibadan without the internet, without blogs, without all what we have now at our disposal. So you are definitely a force to be reckoned with. Is what I am saying true or false? Established acts charge younger acts money before they jump on their songs.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It's like Rick Ross charging P Square for a feature. Essentially, what is happening is I have a base, I have an audience, I have a platform that I built that you're about to leverage off of, and I'm saying to you, Ross, if you want to taste some of this, my cake, you gotta drop something, because this didn't just come about overnight. So as an established artist, when younger artists come to you, sometimes you say, hey, you know what, like I said earlier, hey, you know what, I'll do it for you, but I don't owe it to you to do it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I can say, pay me for it. And if you pay for it, then, you know what I mean? Like, it's fair. It's fair game. There's
sometimes the artist won't
Absolutely.
even collect money, but you know what? They'll sign you on to their own record labels and make a percentage of your income for the rest of your career.
Correct.
So, the artist has no problem paying his own brother in the industry money. He has no problem paying blogs, because your blogs will charge you. They don't care about you. They're going to charge you. He has no problem promoting his song with money on social media, paying Facebook. You know, you put up a post and you pay for that post. You promote that post. They have no problem with that. But then they expect the radio presenter, who doesn't make that much money as salary. I'm not talking about myself, I'm speaking for my colleagues now. You take their time and you expect not to give them something. I remember one particular radio presenter who's driving a big SUV saying he doesn't collect it. What about the person whose salary is 60,000 naira a month and he has a family of 4 in Ibadan? And you want him to leave what he's doing, to listen to you, spend time with you, and you're not even ready to do a free gig.
Yeah, okay.
You see, sometimes when I mean payment, Eldee, when I'm speaking of payment, you have never, for instance, given me 5 naira before.
Never.
But let me tell you something. In 2001, I had a phone that was faulty, and you lent me a phone for a week. You might not remember this. You might not remember this, but that is payment. That is you, and I didn't ask you for it. You saw me struggling with my phone. I was flustered, and you were like, you know what? I have an old phone. I'll send it to you. It's not this phone, or it's the older model, but you can manage it. And when you're done, and 2 weeks later, you came and picked up your phone. That is you understanding that, look, this guy is playing my song. I'm not paying him for it, but I see he has a difficulty. I'm also willing to assist him. And then, guess what? Your song was already good. You didn't need to promote it.
Right.
So here's my message to artists. Give me a Tribal Marks album. Give me Tongolo. Give me Everybody Call Me T-Maya. Give me Cabo Snoop's Windeck. And you will not need to promote it. I will pay.
Right.
I downloaded Kiss Daniel's song. The FU song. I downloaded it, paid 150 naira of my money to have that song on rotation. So I will buy a good song. I know a good song when I hear it. I will buy a good song. But I will not promote an upcoming artist without sitting down. You can't just send the music to. If you send to the music station, I find it on my log and it's a good song, I'll play it. You don't need to ever. If you see me at a concert, don't even greet me. I don't know you. Nonso Amadi, I've never seen him before. We play his songs like... I don't think I've ever gone to Cool FM and not played a Nonso Amadi song at least 4 times a week. I don't know who he is. If I see him, I don't recognize him. Same thing with Tenny. Tenny came out with good music, never gave us 1 naira. But you cannot ignore Tenny's songs. I saw a pastor the other day singing Tenny's song. Same thing with World. I like World's music. I hear the song, wow, this is a nice song. I even gave him a free interview. Not 1 naira, not a recharge card, nothing. I will support a good artist. But I saw some mediocre artists.
I can testify to that too, because when we started, I mean, you definitely supported us. Like, I mean, a lot. As a matter of fact, people don't recognize the fact that it was actually Cool FM and Rhythm, of course, but Cool FM primarily, yourself, Dare, Chris,
Olisa.
Olisa, you know, those are the people that made this even a thing. Like this whole Nigerian music even being on radio in the first place. Because it was the
Yes.
95.5 then. It was 95.5. If they played Nigerian music, it was very, I mean, rarely ever was there even any Nigerian music on the radio, right? Because obviously the things that were popping at the time probably like traditional or more like a little bit of reggae here and there. But what is now mainstream Afrobeats is actually only possible because of people such as yourself, you know, Lisa and all of the guys from like that era, Tolu and so on and so forth. But the thing is, and I think that it's important that I say this at this point, is that I think there are two things, right? So one is that I support you, so you should support me as well.
100%.
Because you know, you see that you understand that this is a job that I'm doing. I'm probably not earning that much, but what I'm doing is earning you money.
Oh,
So
yes.
every now and again, you just say, you know what? Let me support these guys because these guys support us. That's what record labels do over here as well. It's a global phenomenon. It's not like that is a Niger thing. Now, the Niger thing that is a part of it is
If you don't
me as
pay,
the
we will not
OAP.
play.
Exactly. Now saying, you know what? If you don't pay me, I will never play your music. I think that's where the issue is.
All right, my
That people
brother.
actually say that.
Thank you so much. Let me let you go back to your eye appointment. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
Do have a lovely, lovely day, and God bless.
All right.
At this point, I don't really need to say much anymore because Eldee has more or less sorted it all out. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Take good care of yourselves. I absolutely love you guys. And remember, the bone of contention is the music. Make good music. Nobody can deny you airplay if your song is great. God bless you guys.